What is up, guys, and welcome back to another Crypto with Leo YouTube video. Now, once again, we are back with a channel favorite, a full-on XRP versus the SEC or Ripple versus the SEC lawsuit update. And let me tell you guys, you are definitely going to enjoy this one because things are definitely spicing up. And I keep saying this, guys, but the pressure continues to build on the SEC. And that is only being shown through their responses and how they're actually acting through their filings, or at least what I take away from them and many other people as well, including well-known attorneys like attorney Jeremy Hogan. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into it. I'll be honest with you, I'm personally getting excited, and you should take that as something, guys. I don't get excited much about these things, but there was some stuff mentioned in some recent filings which we definitely need to start paying attention to. So without further ado, guys, as I said, I just want to give a massive shout out to James K. Phelan. First of all, this guy is an absolute boss when it comes to keeping everyone up to date. If you do not follow this guy, please go give him a follow. This is where I get my lawsuit updates from, guys, by the way. And then literally I just try and take the ease away from you guys, or at least do the work for you guys by reading through these filings and then being able to break it down so I can tell you everything you need to know. Furthermore, there is going to be a special update at the end of this video in regards to Anino, so you guys are definitely going to be wanting to see that, because potentially it's looking like this listing on a major exchange is getting more and more likely, which if you got in a pre-sale like many of you did, that is definitely an exciting topic to be talking about. So the first one to be talking about, and we're just going to jump straight into it, is the SEC has filed yet another request for an extension. Yes, guys, the SEC do not hold back. These guys have been extended this case like more times than I've ever seen before, and more times than I think is actually normal. But then again, guys, you have to understand the SEC have the ability to do this. They somewhat have unlimited funds as a government body. And furthermore, if they know they can drag this case out with Ripple, then they're most definitely going to do that. You have to understand, guys, they're going after like a top player in the crypto space, and they understand how this lawsuit ends. What the conclusion of this lawsuit is will have a ripple effect, pun intended, on the rest of the market and how they can move forward regulating it, and whether the SEC will have a position in doing so. Because, like I said, if they lose on something like the fair notice defense, it is going to be very, very, very bad for them. So jumping straight into it, guys, that the SEC asking for this extension of time, and what is it relating to? What is it about? Basically, of course, we have seen the end or the conclusion of the discovery phase. However, what the two parties did, that being Ripple and the SEC, is they had a meet to confer. These are completely normal things, and basically what they are is they're a meeting between both parties where they can talk about things, bring things to light, and how they want to do things going forward. Very nice meetings usually. The value that comes out of them, I can't imagine what they're like, but yes, you can understand that something came out of it, and that's why this filing was done. One of those main things was and I'll read it to you, the parties met and conferred on March 17th, 2022 to determine whether any additional discovery was necessary. Of course, with the actual expert discovery phase being over, there could be additional discovery. Now, during this meeting, the counsel for the individual defendants advised that they do not seek to conduct liability-related discovery, but want to reserve their ability to conduct remedies-related discovery until after summary judgment motions are decided. Now, you guys can see a summary judgment motion. They're already referencing it there. However, they do not reference any dates, which is the key thing. However, what I get onto at the bottom of this page, you guys will very much like. And basically, the individual defendants further requested, to which the SEC consents, an extension from March 25th, 2022 to file their answers until April 8th, 2022, that being in regards to liability-related discovery. Now, what's interesting, however, is that the SEC have taken this as, okay, well, if the Ripple or the individual defendants want to extend their time and when they give their answers, then we're going to take this as an opportunity to wait or ask for an extension until we can see their answers, which makes absolutely no sense at all, guys. And honestly, that's how Ripple responded. They have objected this, and they did file their objection, so I'll read through that after this. But yeah, it makes absolutely no sense at all. They basically asked, they do not want to commit to a position or a response until after they've had the opportunity to review the individual defendants' answers, including any affirmative defenses that they may assert and facts they plead in support. So basically, they're like, hey, look, we feel like if we go after them, we might miss something out. And if we can see their answers, we could pick something up and make our defense stronger. It's just absolute waffle stuff. However, I'm personally just someone learning, interested to see how it plays out and if the judge allows it. Now, it's this part at the bottom, guys, and this is what got even Jeremy Hogan excited, and that is that they reference a summary judgment schedule. In this meet to confer meeting, Ripple and individual defendants proposed a summary judgment schedule with opening briefs and related filings due in mid-May. Now, guys, we have to understand that a summary judgment could be a place where we could actually see a settlement take place prior to it, because the SEC, as we've said before, do not want it to go to that position. And that is pretty much what they're saying down here. They believe that the summary judgment in mid-May is way too soon. They do not want that to happen, which is why they're objecting it. And that is what they said down here. The SEC believes that such briefing schedule is premature, given that the individual defendants have yet to answer the complaint and plead affirmative defenses, and respectfully request that the court direct the parties to meet and confer regarding the summary judgment schedule once the SEC has advised the court of its position on the need for additional discovery. So basically, the SEC are very much just showing, we want to hold up this case. We want to be as annoying as possible. We do not want it moving forward. You know, Ripple are making it very clear that they want to take this to summary judgment as soon as possible, whereas the SEC are saying, no, we want to wait and see what Ripple does, what individual defendants say first, then we're going to plead our defenses, and then or at least that, you know, their rebuttals, and then we're happy to see, you know, if we can take it to summary judgment, or our opinion on when we can schedule it. So they are literally just playing, I don't even know how to describe it, somewhat sitting on the fence in regards to that. They're saying, let's just see what individual defendants do first. Let's sit on the fence, wait for that to play out, and then we'll make our decisions after. You know, that's all good and fine, but when you do that for a year and a half, just prolonging a lawsuit, it does get a bit annoying. So I'll be interested to see if the judge reacts to that. However, saying this, guys, that is exactly what Jeremy Hogan had to say of this as well. However, he got very excited with the last statement as well. The SEC is requesting an extension, of course, but look at the footnote. Ripple is suggesting that initial summary judgment briefs to be filed by May. The SEC is, of course, saying that's too soon, but the end game is in sight, and that's what I'm relating to, guys. The summary judgment could very well mean almost the end game, or at least a time when a settlement could be possible to take place. Because once I said it, and I'll say it again, the SEC don't want it going there. They do not want it going there. And there's threats that are made later on. Or I say threats, but it's just proof of what Ripple plan to do. But it's very cool to see, which I'll get into later on when I read through another filing, which is a really interesting one, which is literally just after this. Now, the second one is Ripple's objection, or individual defendants' objection. And they do not hold back, guys. I'm straight up with you here. They literally say defendants have filed their objection. The SEC has delayed resolution of this case long enough. And that's literally, yeah, they do say it here. The SEC has delayed resolution of this case long enough, referencing all the other extensions they've asked for. The individual defendants have affirmed their willingness to forego additional discovery after filing their answers in the interest of moving the case forward. That's what this is all about. Subject to both sides' reservation of right to seek narrow remedies related discoveries if it becomes necessary. So already you can see the SEC somewhat reworded it, or it's amazing how the way words are written can kind of change so much of how something is interpreted. You know, Ripple are pretty much saying, oh, look, we're happy to do these extra discovery remedies if they're needed. And the SEC is saying Ripple wanted to do these liability remedies, which is a bit of a weird one. Now, nor will the individual defendants raise any new affirmative defenses necessitating discovery by the SEC, basically highlighting that, look, you do not need this extension of time. It makes absolutely no sense, because none of the answers we give are going to add anything or help you out in any sort of way. So basically, it literally is very much just up to what Netburn decides to do on this one, whether she allows them to have it. I mean, historically, she has pretty much let them have every single extension they have asked for so far. And most likely, I'll be honest, it's like a 51-49 right now that she'll just give it to them again. However, like I said, Ripple have made, or individual defendants have made, very good responses. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, they literally say down here the court should deny the SEC's motion for extension of time, blah, blah. But the parties have also discussed a proposed schedule for the filing of a summary judgment. And the SEC has refused to commit to any schedule until after it reviews the individual defendants' afters. But even if the SEC were permitted to take discovery of the individual defendants and the individual defendants were to reciprocate, discovery has closed with respect to Ripple, basically saying, nothing can literally help you out in regards to that, because nothing can be put forward anymore, because the discovery phase is over. Basically meaning this extension of time It literally makes no sense. There is no point of it. So simply, Ripple have put forward and individual defendants have put forward some very good arguments as to why they shouldn't get this extension of time. However, as I said, guys, don't be surprised if it does get given to them, because like we said, NetBurn historically has given them every single extension of time they've asked for, wrong or right. Now, as we move on, this one is really interesting and a document I really, really enjoyed reading through, guys, which is why I had to make this video for you guys. And guys, I just want to say, I hope you enjoy these format of videos. If you want me to do it any other way, something that's a bit more easy to understand, please do let me know. Or if you want me to simplify terms a bit more for you in these videos, let me know down in the comments. If you guys have any questions at all, also put those in the comments or video ideas. And if you're not already, guys, make sure to click that big red subscribe button, support the channel by putting a like as well. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get straight back into this video. I don't want to waffle to you guys anymore. So Ripple and individual defendants have filed their response explaining why Hinman documents, the main Hinman documents, guys, we're talking about the emails here, the ones which the SEC have been so against handing over, are not irrelevant as the result of Judge Torres's decision on the motion to dismiss. And then I really like this comment down here. SEC wants Hinman documents hidden so badly, but they're not willing to settle with Ripple. What gives? They can't have everything, so they've got to sacrifice something eventually. And I think that is actually the reality of it. I think the SEC, and this is just my personal opinion, like I said, I've given you the 3 ways I see this ending out, and that is an all-out win, a fair notice defense win, or summary judgment settlements, something like that. And I did that in more detail in a previous lawsuit update. And I do see that how we're ending. So right now, I just see it as the SEC are really just trying to drag this out, see if they can get any other upper hand any other way. But like I said, I don't see that working out for them in the long run. Annoyingly, we're just going to have to put up with these continuous extensions. So like I said, I did enjoy reading this through. So let's start breaking it down. So as we've said or outlined, this is very much to do with Hinman's emails, but it does relate into other things as well, like Brad Garlinghouse's meeting with Commissioner Roisman back in the day and the Eastbrook notes, which they do want handed over. However, it's what Garlinghouse says in there that is just absolutely insane. And I'd like to say as well, guys, this is another, there's something in here that also got Jeremy Hogan extremely excited. And the reason why I reference Jeremy Hogan, guys, is because he is an attorney. He knows what stuff to get excited over. It's easy to see some words for me, someone who's not as educated in law, and get excited about something, but he'll actually know the truth behind it. So the first thing that Ripple are going into it basically stating is that the order does not undermine the relevance of the Hinman speech communications or this court's prior holding that those materials are not privileged. So basically stating that, this order basically doesn't defend the Hinman speech or the Hinman emails relating to the speech are irrelevant, which is a big thing. These are, of course, extremely relevant emails to the case, which is why Ripple have been trying to get these off the SEC and why the SEC are so against handing them over, because they don't want them handed over. There's clearly something in there. At least that's what everyone is thinking. Now, the second part is also very interesting. They say, or the fact this court's prior holding that those materials are not privileged relating to those emails basically being deemed as not DPP, not privileged, basically mean they can't be defended or protected by the SEC because they stated that it was Hinman's personal opinion. Now, of course, they have completely switched up their stance, which is what Ripple referenced in here, stating that, oh, that was actually the opinion of the whole Corporation of Finance division within the SEC, as opposed to just Hinman's personal opinion. Which they even made him, literally swear under oath, basically on. So it's all getting messed up at this point, but you can see that Ripple have got some good arguments here. And like I said, these emails need to be handed over. They will eventually, it goes without saying. However, the question is, are we going to see a settlement first? Will we ever see these emails? That's the main question. So I've got to go down here because I've written some notes to the side of me of the reference where things are. This is a really interesting thing, and what they reference could be inside these emails. Correspondence leading up to the Hinman speech is irrelevant. It is relevant not only to the individual defendants, but providing the absence of any predicate offense, but that correspondence is also relevant to whether the individual defendants were reckless in failing to recognize that Ripple's sales of XRP, and then referencing the 3 parts of the Howey test. So basically saying that these emails could very much contain things that could outline whether XRP in itself was deemed a security, or at least outlining how they would have deemed it one, or any other asset for that matter. And it's actually something they also say later on, which is extremely interesting, which is just down here. And I'm just going to read this to you because it basically references what could be or what could have been taken from this speech. And then one thing which got Jeremy Hogan very excited, and that is that recognize that XRP purchases saw XRP as an investment in a common enterprise while concealing potentially that the SEC's own director of the Division of Corporation Finance had analyzed a substantially similar digital asset, Ethereum, and maybe even XRP itself, and concluded that it was not a security, basically stating that in those emails could prove how Hinman came to the conclusion that a extremely similar asset, obviously referencing Ethereum, could have been deemed, or he came to the conclusion that it was not deemed a security. So yeah, they are pretty much, these are huge things. And if, guys, something was in there that even said, and the fact that they even said that, and this is what got Hogan so excited, is that he said, I tried to analyze this for you in a true legal sense, but my mind was blown by the part below and I couldn't think about much else. Is the SEC potentially hiding a document in which the SEC concluded that XRP was not a security? What does Solomon know? And that is literally what he's referencing just here. The SEC's own director of the division, or sorry, let me read that again. The SEC's own director of the Division of Corporation Finance had analyzed a substantially similar digital asset, and maybe even XRP itself, and concluded that it was not a security. So absolutely huge, guys. I don't know if the lawyers themselves or the attorneys of Ripple know something that we don't, or they're just hinting at why the SEC are so against handing these emails over, because they know something like this could be inside it. You have to understand, if that was inside those emails, guys, the lawsuit's done. It is over. So that would make sense why the SEC are not wanting to hand over those emails at all. Extremely exciting stuff. And then we're pretty much going to end off on page 5. It's the last paragraph down here. And it's basically relating to their second argument. Sorry, the order does not bear on the relevance or the SEC's privilege claims regarding the Eastbrook notes, basically stating that whether the Eastbrook notes should be protected by DPP or not. And then what's really interesting is the fact that they almost say, certainly Mr. Garlinghouse expects at trial to testify not only to what he knew and came to learn about how Ripple was conducting its business, but also about his understanding of those facts in his light discussions with third parties, including the SEC, basically stating, with or without those notes that you hand over, even if you do not hand over Eastbrook's notes, Mr. Garlinghouse is still going to, testify this in court at trial against the SEC. And then it's literally going to be the SEC. It's going to be the burden is put on the SEC to then defend themselves against those notes, which inevitably means they're going to have to use the notes against them if they can. If they cannot, then I can't lie, that's just an all-out win for Garlinghouse there, because like I said, it's his word against theirs. Those notes are pretty much the only things that could defend the SEC. So it's very smart what they're doing, but also shows Garlinghouse's confidence in the fact that, Eastbrook, or sorry, Roisman may have said something to the fact of, we don't know why Ripple are here. We don't know why XRP is in this lawsuit. So yeah, extremely interesting stuff. Now, guys, that concludes the lawsuit update in itself. So I really hope you've enjoyed that. Overall, massively positive for Ripple, guys. This is looking in a very good way for them. I just am excited to see it continue moving forward. But literally, I can comfortably say, guys, you guys are completely up to date as of right now. You know everything you need to know, and I will continue to bring these updates out. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe, as I do bring these updates out when they come out. Now, the last thing I want to clarify, guys, is this, and I said Unifam, it's happening on my Twitter. That's because Dr. Martin Heisenbeck, and for those that don't know, he is the head of blockchain and crypto research at Uphold, a huge exchange, guys. The Enino call with Uphold is confirmed for April 5th. So basically, Enino literally has a call, including Dr. Martin Heisenbeck, who, as I said, is the crypto researcher at Uphold, head of blockchain and crypto research at Uphold. And he has literally been saying how bullish he is on Enino. They now have a meeting with Uphold, which is huge. And it's a step towards moving towards these, way bigger exchanges, Uphold being one of them. Extremely exciting stuff. Very good for Enino. I just wanted to highlight that to you guys. I know a lot of you are interested. But thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out.